It's still happy hour with John Gaskins, so go ahead, have another.
He was just named the number one returning running back in the entire country by Hero Sports, and last season he was named All-America by Phil Steele, by the Associated Press, and he posted a Missouri Valley Football Conference best 1,244 rushing yards, becoming the first USD player to go for over 1,000 in the FCS Division I era. And he's coming back for his junior year, 2025, with the Yotes. He's already in Vermillion. They're already working out. Football is a year-round job these days. And it's a pleasure for the first time to be joined by Charles Pierre Jr. Welcome. And thanks for joining us today. And I got a little wry smile out of you. And first thing out of the chute was that Hero Sports number one returning running back. What do you make of that?
I mean, it's just a blessing, honestly. You know, you do everything for the team, and then, be recognized at that level is, it's everything I ever dreamed of, just getting my name out there.
Did you get a chance to go back to Orlando between spring and the end of spring semester and now, or have you been in Vermillion the whole time?
Yeah, I got a chance to go home. I went home for a couple weeks and got to, see my family, go to a couple graduations, just even still out there working out, but just being back home, chilling with my people.
Yeah.
Everything was good.
I'm glad to hear that. And you got back to Vermillion just in time for the beautiful South Dakota summer weather. I'm guessing you prefer that to Orlando summer weather?
Yes, for the most part. Sometimes it can get hot just like Orlando.
Oh, yeah, for
sure. But
yeah.
overall, I would definitely rather be here when it comes to the heat.
I've been to Florida in June once, about exactly 3 years ago. It was Fort Myers, so a little further south, but still. Wake up, 70 degrees, and it's a steam bath. It makes you want to drink pina coladas right away, all day long. You know?
Can't do that. You can't take a shower and then go directly outside. It's bad.
Right. So what is going on with the team right now? Is it mandatory? Is it optional / not really optional? Like, what is your guys' football structure at this time of the year? Because you did tell me that you guys had a workout earlier today.
Yeah, so now everything is sports performance based. Football stuff is more player led, but when it comes to lifting, running, conditioning, all the main ingredients to having a good season, those are all mandatory, of course. But everything else, football wise, is like I said, it's player led. So it's one of those things where it's voluntary, but it's not voluntary. You need to be there. That's just our standard around here.
Absolutely. I mean, this is obviously a national semifinalist team. They're going to be ranked in the top 5, maybe the top 2 or 3 when the big preseason polls come out. Already number 4 by Hero Sports. So things took a drastic change for the elite in Vermillion this past year. And you guys have your own strength and conditioning coach for football only, which is a fairly new thing at USD. I mean, just give the fans and the listeners an idea of how serious of a job just this lifting, conditioning, nutrition component is for you guys.
It's very serious. We were semifinalists, but we wanted to be national champions. Yeah. And with the new sports performance coach just coming in specifically for football, gives us that extra time, that extra look after that we possibly need to get to a higher level. So it's been really beneficial for us, and we take that very serious, especially with learning more about nutrition, the little things that our previous, he's pulled from all other sports, and this one is specifically about football. So it makes it that much easier for all of us to be more on board and have a bigger understanding of what it is we need to accomplish.
Yeah, I don't know if this is interesting to most fans as it is to me, but his name is Chad Traver, by the way. And like, for example, today, what time did you go in and work out? And was everything kind of lined up for you guys as far as what specific exercises you were going to do and how you were going to go about it?
For sure. So yeah, we got there around 6 a.m. They already had pre workout drinks already set up for us, snack table, everything already set up for us. We knew we already had to. We had on the field first for football stuff. So everything was already a line structure. We already knew what we were getting into. Have a little smaller practice, player-led practice, and then get straight into the weight room. So we already knew what that transition was going to be like, and he already had everything set up for us exactly how we needed it to be the most efficient.
Is this an everyday thing? You get days off?
I mean, you have your days off, but we find something to do every day, whether it's football or sports performance. It's always something we're doing. And like I said, it's set up perfect for us to succeed.
Is it a 6 a.m. thing on the days that you do it?
No, that's
every
only
day?
That's Tuesdays and Thursdays. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays is broken up by skill, bigs, and mids. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, the all team, everybody's in the dome by 6:30.
And be honest, what kind of energy and excitement level is there for everybody at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday in June?
So Coach Traver, he's really big on energy. He's a firm believer in get up, it's time to roll. And so that energy is always brought every morning since he came up here in the winter, being on the field in the cold outside 6 a.m. Everything's about energy. He blows the whistle, everybody claps, gets live. That's how we start every single lift, every run, every practice. He blows that whistle, everybody brings some energy, and we get rolling from there.
Is this 6 a.m. thing easy for you, or are you the type of guy who it took some getting used to? You need an alarm clock. You need teammates as an alarm clock. Or are you the teammate who's the alarm clock?
Sometimes I have to be the teammate that's an alarm clock. I'm pretty used to waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, just because it's normal for my routine, and that's just how it is over here. We wake up early for practices or lifts. Just it's easier to get it out of the way in the morning, so we're pretty used to that. Some people, especially incoming freshmen or a couple of transfers, they're not really used to that yet. But personally, I don't mind it, and I'm used to it by now.
Okay. Did you do a lot of that growing up?
I did.
How and why? What was the reason?
My dad, he was a former football player at FAU, and his big thing was work while they sleeping. So before, even when I was in high school, middle school, we would wake up early, work out, and then go to school. That's just how it was for me.
At home, or would he take you to a gym?
So it's either he'll take me outside to go run, or when I got to high school, that's when he finally let me pick up a weight. Then he would take me to the gym at 5:30, 6 in the morning before I got home to go get on the bus.
Okay. So, regimented guy, serious guy. Did you have any brothers or sisters that you would do this with?
Yeah, my brother JJ. So I have 3 siblings. I have 2 brothers, 1 sister.
Okay.
Me and my older brother, we worked out together.
All right. You just said that he finally let you pick up a weight in high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So were you wanting to pick up weights before then and he wouldn't let you?
Yes, because my dad, he always was like, we need to get the basics of stuff down, let your body grow a little bit more before you start touching weights. So all I would do is push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups. I would never be able to touch a weight. He'd never let me touch weights.
Well, a lot of people don't lift weights until after they're in high school. So if they're not athletes, so the fact that how cool was it when you got to finally lift some weights?
Yeah, it was cool, especially because my dad, he loves the weight room. My dad is he's the type he'll incline bench press 405. So I'm like, I want to do that. and he wouldn't let me because he was like, I want you to be safe. I want your body to be in the best position that it can. So I'm gonna let you get a little bit older, and then that's when he finally let me when I get to high school to play high school football.
Okay, so is he still a 405-pound bencher?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he's still. Every time I go home, he's still the same weight. He's never gonna change. His gym is his sacred place. He loves the gym. I love to go to the gym with him, just because I already know I got something I'm chasing after. I want to be stronger than my dad.
Sure.
So.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was the next question: is how close are you getting?
Not that close. I'm getting there, but man, he's in a different world because all he do is lift. I would say that's his safe place.
Okay. A little bit more, just anybody who I talked to, I chatted with a young man yesterday who's about to go up to South Dakota State. He is a 300-pound lineman. and his dad was an offensive lineman in college at NDSU and then in the pros indoors here in Sioux Falls.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're also from football stock. First of all, I'm Googling it right in front of me as I look at the screen. So your dad was a running back for Florida
Yes.
Atlantic. So was the fact that he was a running back, is that what made you want to be a running back, or did he determine you were going to be a running back? How did this all go down?
So I definitely wanted to be a running back because my dad was a running back. So my dad had me before he got to college. So I was a kid at his football games. And I really growing up seeing that, I just always wanted to be like my dad. So my first year ever playing football, I got this number 20 because my dad wore number 20. And I just, like I said, growing up, I just always wanted to be like my dad. So I feel like the biggest thing for me was I wanted to be better than him. I would joke with him all the time about, I'm gonna break your records. Like that was my goal, was always like, I'm gonna do this better than you just because you're my dad. So even it was another like really big piece for me was he was the first 1,000-yard rusher at FAU. So for me to, be at the first 1,000-yard rusher in the Division I history here, it meant a lot to me because it just felt like history repeating itself.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, he played all 4 years. He had over 500 yards each and every year. I'm looking at it right now. All Sun Belt selection. Those are on some teams, correct me if I'm wrong, that were coached by the legend, the Miami Hurricane legend, Howard Schnellenberger.
Yes, that was his coach.
Okay. I mean, I figured I didn't need to look that one up because I remember that, interestingly, because I remember the Golden Gophers, I believe, lost to them. Maybe, or at least I remember them playing a close game with FAU back in the day. But that makes me ask you, okay, first of all, have you seen the U? Have you seen the ESPN 30 for 30 on the U, on the Miami Hurricanes?
Oh yeah, my they're not gonna tell you this. My parents, because they grew up in Miami, they are a really big Miami Hurricane fan.
Okay, here we go.
So I know a little bit about the U. Was
that a big reason why your dad played for Howard Schnellenberger at FAU?
I don't think that wasn't really why. It's just it was the best fit for him at the time.
Okay,
and so he loved his coach though.
I bet he did. Did you ever get to meet the guy?
When I was a kid. Yeah. I haven't seen him, obviously, unfortunately, but
do you have any first impressions, or would your dad ever talk about him and the way he coached or led?
Yeah, he will always mock him, like, to be funny. But he used to make jokes about it, but he loved him. But I was so small at the time, I don't really remember much of it.
So did you grow up a Miami Hurricane fan?
No, I grew up a Bama fan. I was always a Bama fan.
Why?
I have no idea. It's just it was something about it. I don't know. I was a big fan of like Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, all those guys, and then I just always was a Bama fan. I could not tell you why.
Okay. Did you have any other big running back favorites, like the posters on your wall, NFL guys?
Oh yeah,
that you wanted to model?
Sure, Marshawn Lynch. He's my favorite running back. I was Marshawn Lynch, DeAnthony Thomas, and he's not really a running back, but Tavon Austin. Those are my three favorite football players.
Okay, and what made them? Their styles,
their style, their highlight tapes on YouTube. I used to watch them all the time.
What kind of runner are you, style wise, compared to the way your dad ran?
I would say we're kind of similar. He was more power back. So my dad, he was more power and speed. I'm power and speed, but I feel like I have a little bit more to my game just because the game has evolved so much more from then. So now I can be more involved in the pass game that's really like the biggest thing is just being more involved in the pass game. But I like to play big and I like to play fast. So I can play any way the coach needs me to play that game. So
there you go. Most people listening to this have seen the U. They're familiar, therefore, with just how big of a deal youth football is and was 40 years ago when Howard Schnellenberger, 45 years ago when Howard Schnellenberger took over the Canes, and has ever since. And you grew up in Orlando, correct me if I'm wrong. How big of a deal was it there? Can you give us a glimpse into just what percentage of kids went out for football and how crazy popular the sport was and how into it the parents were and all that.
Yeah, for sure. So Orlando, it's not for people might think for a lot of people it's so much to do, but in the areas that we grew up in, football was everything. All we did was play football. So everyone in the neighborhood was on the football team, regardless. The parents were really invested. The coaches cared more than the kids. It was serious out there. So that was youth football was the biggest thing. You would have a lot of celebrities come out to the youth football games, like big names in the city, like rappers, all the people we looked up to, other athletes like Chris Johnson used to come to the games. All those type
Okay.
of people used to come to the game. It was a really big deal. The rivalries were crazy because we all went to school together. So it was a really fun time, and it meant a lot to a lot of us.
Well, I was going to say specifically for you when you mentioned that it was more important to the coaches than it was to the kids. Again, you were born into football. You always wanted to do it. You wanted to be like your dad from, it sounds like, as long as you can remember. But did that seriousness about the game from a lot of people you were around, did that it can beat some kids down to the point where they don't enjoy it and don't want to play it anymore? But what kind of an effect did it have on you?
It didn't really have too much of an effect on me because my dad was always the type he gave me that choice where he was like, you don't have to do this. He always told me like, you have your own path. Whatever you decide you want to do, that's on you. He said, if you want to play football, he said, don't complain about nothing we do because I'm gonna make it hard for you so you can be great. But he was like, but if you don't want to, that's on you. But I used to tell my dad all the time, I want to play football and I want to be like you.
Okay.
and the rest was history.
How did he make it hard? Or have you already mentioned that?
Just waking up early. He would always push me to the point where I felt like I was gonna die, and then he would say, "That's enough."
Okay.
But it really showed. It really showed up because especially in youth football, I played both ways. I didn't never took one play off. I was in the play. I was in the game every single play. Offense, defense, kicker, kick return, whatever you needed. I was in the game. And it paid off, especially at a young age, because I obviously I was all over the field. I was very well conditioned. I was strong. I was smart because I grew up with a good football player who was a
Sure.
mentor to me.
Always a running back. What position did you play on defense?
Oh, I played linebacker and safety.
Okay. And you just strike me as a type that enjoyed the hell out of hitting people.
I did. I really did. I used to love coming on blitzes. I used to come light linemen up. That was my game. I loved it because I'm a running back, so I know how running backs think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when did you first start playing tackle football? What age were you?
I think I was 8. I think I would say 8.
Okay. And so do you remember any big moments? Let's just stay on the defensive side and hitting guys, like where you lit a kid up and you felt right away like, oh, wow, do I like this? I can do this over and over. Was there a moment?
I do have a moment. It was in a championship game. Raleigh Ravens versus Steelers because I played for the Ravens. They tried to run a little fake reverse in the championship game that they beat us on in the regular season. He came around the corner. I lit him up so good. I was like, I can do this for real. I always thought after that, I thought I was gonna be a defensive player because of how much I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Did you hurt anybody bad?
Unfortunately, a few times, but it wasn't on purpose.
Well, sure. Well, I mean, it was, but you didn't mean to hurt him that bad.
Yeah, I never meant to hurt anybody.
Right. Now, what's the worst you've ever gotten hurt? You've been doing this since fifth grade. What's the worst injury you've suffered?
Probably when I had a Volsion fracture in my ankle.
Okay.
That was
How old were you?
I think that was it. Other than that, I'm blessed that I didn't have like really bad injuries.
Yeah.
But I would probably say just like that fracture was so annoying. I had it my senior year of high school. So I played my senior season, the whole season on a fracture.
You played through it. Okay.
I played through it. That's why it was so bad.
Did anybody at any point try to stray you away, or did you become aware of at some point the knocks, I guess, against being a running back, just because it's one of the positions where you're in harm's way the most. You know, the running backs famously don't last very long, if they even make it to the NFL, just because of the wear and the tear. I had an uncle who played. He was in the NFL for about 5 years, and he played a little bit here and there. Wasn't a big star. And then I remember when I was young, and I asked him, "Why only 5 years?" You know, and he's like, "Are you kidding? Do you realize how much longer that is than most running backs get?" So, was there ever a warning to you about, hey, this, you know?
Yeah, it definitely was warnings about it. People used to tell me all the time, like, why you don't switch positions, like, if you want to, like, make it like a different career out of it. But I was like, I just really enjoy playing running back. Like, when I first got to high school, I went out with the receivers at one point, and then the running back coach, his name Coach James Washington. He played at NC State.
Okay.
He went and he said, "You come with me. I know your dad. You playing running back." And and I kid you not, that was the end of that conversation. I just went to go play running back, and it was that.
Do you like running through people or around people more?
I like doing both because I feel like honestly, my game I can do both, and it depends. Because if it's somebody bigger than me and I run somebody over that's bigger than me, it always feels better.
Okay.
I would definitely say that, but like I like to run around people too, just so sometimes I show you like you can't touch me.
Is it hard to decide in the moment which of the two options you're going to choose? I guess it depends on the play call and the nature of where the play goes, but you know, is it always a decision like, am I going to try to go right at him or fake him out or what?
I feel like it's more subconscious, to be honest, because sometimes like I'll make a really good play, and after the play, I'll be like, I don't even know how I did that or why I did that. It's just I feel like it's just mostly instinct. Sometimes though, I'm like, I'm gonna try this, and then I actually try it and see what happens. So it's not it's not really like a process of something I think about too much. It just happens. It's just instinct.
Fair enough. Charles Pierre Jr. joining us. It's been fun so far here on Happy Hour. You've mentioned high school a couple times now, so let's go there. I mean, what level in Florida was your high school? I mean, was this a big school, and what kind of tradition did it have? What kind of eyes were on you during those times?
So I went to Ocoee High School. I believe we were 7A or 8A. I can't remember which one.
That sounds big. That sounds big.
Yeah, I was like growing up in Orlando. You know, all the public schools are really like bigger schools.
Yeah.
So, you know, we weren't like the best team, but we always had like really good athletes on the team. But our culture is almost like exactly how it is here. It's like we everything is a brotherhood. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the 300 with the Roman Empire.
Mm.
That was our thing. We were the 300 because people always overlooked our school because we had like smaller teams and whatever.
Okay.
But it was like, as long as we stand together, can't nobody beat us. And that was our big thing. But our culture was that, and our culture was we gonna be the toughest people on the field regardless. Because every week we played 4 or 5 stars, and we could hang with everybody. That was our mentality. We could hang with anybody.
And you ran for 1,260 yards, 18 touchdowns as a senior. Were you getting some interest from colleges before your senior year, or did you kind of have to wait your turn?
So I played my sophomore year. That was my first year playing high school football. Was my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
Freshman year, I took a break. I wasn't sure if football was what I wanted. I was going through like a little phase where I was just thinking about what I really wanted to do. So I didn't play football freshman year. Sophomore year, I played. My junior year, I played 3 games, and then I had to get surgery because I was born with an extra bone in my leg. It's called osteochondroma.
Okay.
And I had to get it removed. So I was out for my junior season as I was picking up interest from colleges. And my senior year is my first year getting able to play a real full season.
Wow. Okay. There's a lot to unpack from everything you just said. Okay. The extra bone, let's go there. Did you always know you had that extra bone? And why was it not until, if so, why was it not until your junior year of high school where then that's when you needed to have it removed?
Yeah, so I always knew I had it. people used to call me alien leg because my leg always looked so much bigger because of that bone that like it literally stuck out. So if my femur's like this, the bone was like this. It used to stick out like this. So it was like a big like a big knot on my leg. So people used to say I had an alien leg. And as a kid, they didn't want to remove it yet because I was still growing. They didn't want it to move mess up my growth plates in my knee because it was right next to my knee. So once I got to high school, we played a team and I got hit directly on the bone, and then the bone actually like fractured. So like the bone was actually like leaning, hanging off like this. So
Did it poke out of your skin? I mean, was this during a game?
luckily it did not poke out of my skin.
Okay.
But it was really painful, and it was because I knew what had happened when it did happen. I didn't feel it till like after the game though because my adrenaline was rushing.
Okay.
So I played on it, finished the game, and then I got to the next day and I was just like, Mom, I can't walk. And so we went to the doctor. They told me I had fractured it, and then I got it removed like a month later. And then they told me that the reason that it was smart to get it done then was because if I got it younger, it was a very high chance that it could mess up my growth plates or that it could grow back very easily. So the older I got, when I did get it removed, they said that it's still a chance that it could come back and grow back, but it's better that we did it now.
Okay. How early in the season was that when that happened?
That was after the third game of the season.
And then you're out the rest of the season. I mean, and you were already getting looks from colleges and stuff. So,
Yes.
like, what? I mean, obviously it was painful physically, but also mentally, where were you at when you're just like, damn, my junior year's
Yeah,
gone?
so mentally, I was in a really dark place because, I didn't play my freshman year because I was already, thinking about what I wanted to do for real in my life. I didn't know. And then to my junior year, which is supposed to be my breakout season, my first 3 games I played really well and was getting a lot of interest from colleges. And then from being able to from playing to not playing at all, and this is supposed to be my biggest year, it was hard, especially because COVID hit as well.
Hmm.
So that made it that much worse, especially knowing that, the people that are in college and get another year and all this crazy stuff, and I don't have an opportunity to put my talent on display.
So, how did you deal with that?
Just really talking to family, just keeping high hopes, praying, keeping God first, let him guide the path that he had for me.
Yeah.
And then I just made it in the back of my head that no matter what, my senior year, I'm going to make sure I go to college.
And so, take me back to your senior year. You can start at the beginning, the motivation level you had, or just take us through all of it because it turned out roses for you. Why do you suppose it worked out so well?
I feel like it worked out so well because I was patient and I trusted what God had for me. I already knew that if I was selfish about what I wanted, I could have tried to come back earlier in my junior season and made it even worse. But I decided, I'm gonna just be patient. I'm gonna let it heal and do what I have to do. And I went in with a very high optimism about everything, regardless. So going into that season, I just had positive thoughts about everything. Like it's gonna be okay. I understand my talent. I'm gonna show the world my talent as well, and we're just gonna rock out like that.
Do you have any early touchdowns, any big bursts that were kind of like, all right, we're set, we're having a good season here?
So funny story. So right before our jamboree game, our kickoff classic, which we have every year, that's when I got a fulging fracture in my ankle. Right before the first game of the season.
Oh my God.
So what I did was, so that was a jamboree. So jamborees don't count towards your record. So I didn't play in the jamboree at all. I rested and I was doing rehab treatment, trying to do what I can to fix it. And then our very first game of the season, I played, taped it up really well, and I scored 4 touchdowns in the first half, and I sat for the rest of the game. When
you had that fractured ankle at first, were you kind of like, here we go again? My God, I just got over this.
I was a little
thing.
demoralized. I was very demoralized because when they told me what it was, I was like, my season's over. I felt like it was over. I was in so much pain that I couldn't sleep. I couldn't walk. It was really rough. But then I just, like I said, I kept praying, and I just, did everything I could, and it was like I had the mindset of nothing is going to stop me from getting to where I need to go.
And before we get to your time at USD and how you got here, I have to walk it back to a guy who had, since you first remember that you loved football, you wanted to play running back. Your dad was a running back, big star in college, and that's all you wanted to do. And you started early, tackle football, 4th grade, and then you sat out your freshman year of high school because you were starting to think you weren't sure if you wanted to do football anymore. How did that thought come about and grow so much to the point that you just voluntarily decided not to play football?
Yeah, it was a real rough time, dealing with a lot of stuff like around like my environment at the time. I lost a couple friends along the way that, rest their souls. And I was just really in a dark place. I wasn't sure what was going on. I was just worried about school and worried about my family, thinking about how I could help them because they were going through a really tough time at the time as well. So I wasn't even thinking about playing football because I didn't want to put an extra burden on them at the time just because of how the situation was. So
It,
I just decided to sit out, just go to school, handle my business there. And I was like, if football is for me, then I'll try again next year.
okay. If you mind sharing, that's okay. If you don't mind sharing, what was the tragedy, or what was the death in the family that was close to you, or that led to the hard times for the family?
Yeah, it was a few deaths. Like one, like it was when my dad's dad passed away. My grandfather passed away. That it
Okay.
was really rocky for a while,
Okay.
and it was just when my grandma on my mother's side passed away. It was everything was like seeming so back to back, and everyone was really down, and it was just a lot. And mentally, I didn't even think I wanted to play football anymore because I didn't have that enjoyment for anything at the time. I was just like, I'm just gonna go to school because I have to and do my work and come back home. But the thing was, I was still working out and still like doing something with myself, but I just wasn't ready to be on the football team.
And so, what nudged you back to football? Was it you? Was it somebody else?
I think it was more me and my brother because my brother he wanted to play, so I was like, I go out there. I'll say because I do miss playing football, so I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna play football, and then I just started playing football again after that.
And what was it like to get back out there? Did it feel good?
Felt good. It felt good. At first, it was hard because, like, I obviously haven't played in a minute, and obviously, these are a whole bunch of new coaches. I don't know these coaches from nowhere. I'm starting at the complete bottom, but it quickly changed, really, really fast.
Sounds like it. And then I still have to do some house cleaning and go back a little further. And the nickname Alien Leg for that extra bone in your leg. Was that, did you get a lot of teasing from kids in school about that, or would nobody dare tease you anyway? I mean,
No, no,
you
no,
got the
no.
nickname, but
Nobody
okay.
teased me. It was more from like the coaches that used to call me that. Like
Okay.
the players never really said nothing, or like my classmates never said anything to me, just because I was well respected around my school.
Yeah.
I was, what I'm saying, I was cool with everybody. I was, how it is like when you're a kid, fastest kid in the school, one of the coolest kids on campus. That's really how it was. So
Well, no, I don't know what that's like. I have no idea what that was like. That was not me, but I figured that was the case with you, that no one was going to mess with you anyway. And so let's go back to the senior year. You're tearing it up. And okay, which colleges are calling, and where was USD in the mix?
so my first offer was Southern Illinois.
Okay.
That was my first Division One offer, and then USD was my second offer. They were my second offer. Coach Phil or Coach O, he used to be here. He came down to Florida. He
Okay.
came to one of my practices, and he talked to my head coach, and it was like, we want him. I believe this was around week 4, maybe week 5. That's when they came and they offered me, and yeah, I stayed in contact with them, and then it was that at the end of the day.
What other colleges had interest? Did any colleges around more your neck of the woods?
Yeah, so I had a lot more interest from like schools that were closer, like USF, Florida State, Miami, like FAU, FIU. Those were more like interests,
Okay.
especially like with the transfer portal and the COVID, all this being at like the beginning of all stages of all that. So originally I was planning on going to USF, but they actually pulled my scholarship to bring in a transfer from Clemson. So that's when I fully did, because USF, my uncle went to USF, so I already had some ties already to that school.
Yeah.
So then my main three schools that I was looking at coming out of high school were Southern Illinois, USD, and Tennessee Tech.
And how did these guys from Southern Illinois and South Dakota find you?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
think maybe just putting my tape on Twitter, maybe one of them came across it. I mean, my coach at the time, Coach Shep, he has a lot of connections. Um, But I don't think he knew any of the coaches at either schools, honestly. I think they just found me on Twitter, like with my highlights and stuff, and reached out to me.
Yeah. And what do you remember about your recruiting visit to USD?
Yeah, I remember like it was yesterday.
Okay.
It was really nice. It was my first time like coming to an area out here. Like it was my first time really being away from home, like this by myself, because my parents had stuff they had to attend to, so I came by
Okay.
myself. And one, it was cold. That was my first time being in the cold. But it was really like when I seen the dome, my eyes lit up. I had never seen nothing like that before. So it was nice. Everything was smooth. I really enjoyed my visit. Just seeing the facilities, the field, seeing the history that the school had. It interested me way before I even came on my visit, just from the PowerPoint that they showed me.
Okay. Did you get a chance to go to a game on your recruiting visit, or was it
I
not
did
during?
not. I
Okay. Okay.
came. My visit was December 2nd to December 5th or the
Okay.
4th.
Had you visited SIU or Tennessee Tech at that point?
I visited Tennessee Tech right after.
Okay.
And then I had an unofficial visit to SIU during the season. So I got to
Okay.
see one of their games.
And so, kind of what made the difference for USD? Why'd you?
I feel like honestly, just when I was getting from SIU personally, it just for me and my family didn't feel like the best move, because originally I was committed to SIU after that visit that I had up there. I originally was committed up there. I came to USD on my visit, and I was honestly blew away to where I was just like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go to SIU.
Okay. And kind of what made the difference between those two?
The difference, I feel like for me, it was more of like you can feel it. Just it felt USD just felt more genuine. I'm not really sure how to explain it, because like
Yeah.
SIU didn't do anything wrong or anything, but the
Yeah.
vibe I was getting more here in Vermillion and with the coaches, it felt more at home, I should say.
Yeah. What? Which coach was the one that reached out to you and originally kind of got the wheels turning
Oh,
for
Coach
USD?
Phil, Coach
Okay.
O. I don't know how to say his last name. We just knew
Okay.
I just knew him as Coach O.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to. So he's not. Is he not there anymore?
No, so
Okay.
crazy story actually. He left right
Yeah.
after I signed.
Oh, okay. Where'd he go?
Yeah, he left right after I signed.
Okay. Do you remember where he went?
I think he went to Peru State.
Okay. So, I mean, right? He left right after you signed. Is that what you said?
Yes, he left
Okay.
right after I
Did,
signed.
did did it make you kind of reconsider things, or did you like enough about your visit there and what you knew that you're still going to go to Vermillion?
Yeah, I knew either way it went, that was the best decision for me. That's especially how I felt at the time. I was upset though, because just the way it happened. You know, obviously I know it's a business, but I would at least would have liked a heads up, or to even reach out to me and tell me that you're leaving. I never got that from him.
Okay, but you still were like, "There's plenty else there that
Yeah,
I'm
I was.
looking forward to
It's
going to
it's
see."
enough there. Yes, and my host made it very easy to be around the team. I had Mike Mansoret. He was a running back here, number 7.
Okay.
He showed me everything, showed me all the running backs, and that's when I met Travis Tice. So it was. I already had in my mind like, this is people I'm cool being around for sure.
Was there any part of you coming from obviously a large city like Orlando and such a warm city like Orlando, and then you come to Vermillion, which is one of the smallest Division I cities in the country? I mean, or were you just like, you like the football stuff that didn't matter? Like, what did you make of that juxtaposition?
Yeah, it was kind of exactly what you said. It's like the football was so up here for me that it didn't really matter. Like, honestly, Vermillion is very simple. You know, being in Orlando, you live a very fast life. Your environment is so much different. Like, it's just a whole different world out here. Like, here is like, I feel like I can relax, if that makes sense. Like, I was saying, like, for me, I don't have a problem with once I could like told myself you cannot compare Verm to home. I had no issues being out here. I actually enjoy being here. Sometimes I don't even want to go home as much. I'd rather stay here.
Very cool. When you came into the program, this was under Bob Nielsen, this was a program that was good, but it's in such a tough league. And the Jackrabbits right there, a tough bar to reach. And what do you remember about some of your early years, before you kind of became the guy or the 1-2 punch with Travis Tice, and just the environment of the program and where you guys thought you could eventually be?
Yeah, so my first year when I came up here, we went 3-8. I didn't play much. I redshirted. I knew from just going throughout that season that we had the talent to do what we wanted to do. I feel like it was more individuals on the team than it were teammates, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was our biggest thing. And then after that next year, we ended up going to the quarterfinals. With the team was a lot more closer. We changed how we did things around here. And it was a complete 360 from what it was the year before, and that's when I started playing a little bit more. That was my first year playing, which was my redshirt freshman year. So we had a lot of new additions to the team, especially Bauman became a big factor for the offense that year. So it changed a lot, and it was from there. I mean, you've seen what it's been for us. It's just the little changes that we have just for bringing in the right people, right staff, everything just started to come together how we wanted it to come together.
Yeah, and I want to get to all that, especially Aiden, but back to that first year, that 3-8 year, 2022. Some crazy stuff was happening. It changed offensive play callers during the middle of the season.
Yeah.
And Bob Nielsen, the head coach, was calling the plays. And so this just gets to Bob in general, because obviously he was the head coach when you were being recruited and when you committed. And just start with, what were your initial impressions of him? And then what did you make of him just mid-season putting out, all right, I'm calling the plays?
Yeah, so when I first met Coach Nielsen, I mean, he's a really easy person to talk to. You know, you can tell he has a genuine soul and he really cares about his players. So when he decided that he was going to take over in the middle of the season, I didn't really have an effect on me because I was always taught to just respect the decisions of those above you at the time. You know, it's always coach player. So whatever you feel like is the best decision for the team, that's just what it is. And even though I'm not playing, I still have a role to do at practice or whatever you need from me. So it didn't really have no effect on me, honestly.
What were your observations of the way he went about handling the offense, practice, calling plays? Just what was his, I guess, demeanor, or what stood out to you?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say nothing really stood out. It was just a lot more active. He was very active when it came to calling the plays and stuff. So, like, when he came in calling the plays, he's the same coach from when he was calling plays to which was his last season last year. It's just at that time, he was a lot more active with the offense, you know, actually getting back there and calling the things that he wanted. So, he's what you get from him every day. He's the same Coach Nielsen. Love that guy.
Seemed like it. Okay, so 2023, things kick into high gear. I mean, Bob has said that numerous times. The 2022 is just crazy year, but we knew he had the talent. You mentioned it sounds like things are a little bit more unified. It's a team, not a collection of individuals. And the first individual you mentioned was Aiden. So what do you remember about him once it was apparent that he was the guy? What was it about him?
I feel like Aiden, he has just this leadership in him that you can't coach out of anybody. It's just that motor he has to lead a team. It makes you want to play with him regardless. Like, especially as a running back, the way he is, how he carries himself, how he cares about the team, it makes you want to protect him no matter what. And because of that personality he has and that leadership, everyone followed suit. So him stepping up and being that person for the team that we needed was just a big piece of our success for that season.
Any moment from that 2023 season stick out where you're like, oh, dang, Aiden Bauman, okay.
When we beat NDSU,
yeah,
what was it, second or third game of the season, we beat NDSU.
in Fargo,
was like,
yep.
okay, Bauman's something serious. That's what everybody was thinking.
Yeah. Do you remember him? And I can't, forgive me, I can't remember how much you played in that game.
I didn't play.
You didn't play. Okay. So
play.
you were,
Yeah.
It's not like you were in on the huddles. Okay. And so take us now, you lose that quarterfinal game to NDSU. And what was the environment and the discussions within the team after that happened? Either right after the game or in the
for sure
after that. Yeah.
We kept it real brief and we literally said like this. Our season starts tomorrow. That was the mindset. If we don't want to feel this way again, our season starts tomorrow. That's what it was. We're gonna do everything we need to do to not go out like that again. That was the mindset right after that game.
And what did things look like right after that? I mean, how did you all of you become true to that word?
Like I said, that's when after kicking into another gear. And even more things started to change. We taking a little bit more stuff more serious, a little more unified, a lot more put together. We just polishing up paint at this point. Yeah. Everything we're doing is to be better than we were last season.
And then, you started getting some action late in that 2023 year. You played 8 or 9 games. You got a taste, 500 yards, 8 touchdowns. And, of course, there's Travis Tice there as well. What kind of a relationship, a friendship did you have with Travis?
He's Travis, man. He's a great guy. I mean, to me, he's a big brother to me. Ever since I came in here, he's always made me feel welcome. He's always showed me the ropes and always told me how good I was going to be for the team. Like he's the type of person that you would die for. Like, honestly. He's a really great person. I love Travis. Like he's always like that leader that you can count on. He's the person you can count on when it comes to anything.
What makes him that way? What did you notice about the way he played or went about his business or talked that makes you say that?
He was always genuine. He always knew how to play his role however he needed to play his role. He was a team-oriented person. He never questioned anybody. All he did was want to make the team better and make everyone better. That was his mindset. He was always a big brother to everybody on the team, and that he had that motor of wanting to be great. Every time he touched the ball, he played that play like it was his last play ever, and that's was something I respected about him.
He's a quiet guy who said very little whenever the cameras were rolling around guys like us. Was he the same way, kind of weight room practice, or was there a different side of him?
He's very vocal. He's a vocal leader. He gonna get everybody in line. Trav, like especially when it comes to stuff like this, he doesn't say too much, but when it comes down to business and getting stuff done, Travis is the first one in line to make sure everything is good. That's how he is.
Any specific memories that made you go, "Whoa, okay, Travis, okay"?
Yeah, he got into it at practice with a couple players and coaches. He was upset. He was upset. We were doing tempos. One of the defensive we were in no pads. One of the players had hit one of our offensive guys, knocked him on the ground and got him hurt. And Travis just started snapping on everybody, like saying, we have to be better as a team. Coach tried to calm him down. He wasn't going for it because he was like, he really cares about everyone on the team. And you look at that, and it's just like, that's the leader, right? That's who I want to play with.
Yeah. All right. Now let's get into last season for both you and the team. I mean, it was impressive what you guys did, taking Wisconsin into the fourth quarter. But you tell me, when was the first moment you realized, okay, we are going to be potentially even better than we were in 2023? We're serious.
Yeah, like you said, for us, we deep down believe that we should have won that game. So I would say it was the Wisconsin game, because we went into that game with a full mind that we were going to win that game. Like, for us, it was no doubt when we got on that bus, we were going to go out there and we were going to go beat Wisconsin. That was our mindset. And when we seen how we played and we went back and realized how we beat ourselves that game, we knew that we can make something happen this year for sure. And then after that, we went on a bunch of winning games, and we already knew what it was going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, for you burst right out of the gate, 136 yards, 13 carries. That's 10 yards a carry against Northern State in game one. You had the leading rushing total against Wisconsin with those 83 yards. So when was the first time you realized, first of all, you're kind of splitting going back and forth with Travis? What was that like for both you and him?
I feel like for both of us, I mean, we had no problem with it. We both knew what we were both capable of, and you can see on film, it's a lot of times we're on the field at the same time. You know, we both bring a different aspect to the game. So, like, a lot of people call us thunder and lightning. We always struck different. So for us, we were just like, whoever has the hot hand, give him the ball. That's just how it was. That's just how it was with us. It was just like, whoever has the hot hand, just let them cook.
Okay. And so it's fun for either of you to watch each other when you had the hot hand?
For sure. For sure. Like being on the sideline, you know, some people, you know, they don't like to be on the sideline. And, you know, some people want to be on the field, which we all want to be on the field. But when you see Travis Tice jump over somebody, how can you not be excited? You know what I mean? Like, it's always fun. And that's what I love best about the running back room, was everyone was always supportive of each other when it was their turn.
All right. We could walk through the SDSU game. Did that hurt more than the Wisconsin game, considering how close you were there?
Yes. That rivalry will always be deeper than any other game we play, just because it's them.
Yeah.
So for us, knowing that we could have won that game, and how much stuff, how we beat ourselves and a couple things that didn't go in our favor, that one it really hurt. That one hurt, because we don't like losing, and we especially don't like losing to them.
I want you to let's spin it forward to the NDSU game at the end of the year. You're down by 10, 4 minutes left. I'm guessing you were in a huddle or two. And you've mentioned Aiden Bauman's leadership. I'd love you to take us to some of those last 4 minutes that you talk about lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, so for sure. So those last 4 minutes, NDSU had put up a big drive and they were winning. In the huddle.
Yeah, 99-yard drive, right? They
took it all the way. They had a really long, drew out the whole clock.
Most of the fourth quarter. Yeah.
And we're in the huddle, and so I was in, especially for a lot of the 2-minute stuff. I usually go in the game, and Bauman was like, "We're not losing this game. I hope y'all know that we're going to win this game." So we're all in the huddle. We're talking. We dapping each other up like, "Let's go win this game." And that was it. Just started with Bauman saying, "We're not losing this game." He's like, "Pick your heads up. We about to go score. We're going to get the ball back, and we're going to score again."
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yes. You scored pretty quickly. And then, sideline, you got to wait see what the defense does. But now what's he saying? What is it like? I'm guessing
he's in the huddle. I'm telling you, this is our game to win. Everyone relax, focus. We're going to go out here. We're going to do what we do best. We got the best 2 men in the country. Let's go win this game. Goes out there, wins this game.
Describe the Dakota Dome when the clock struck 0.
Eruption. That's the best way to explain it. Like, it's cliche, but it was electric, and you can feel it from everybody in there. That was the loudest I've ever heard the dome in all my years here. It was it for some people. I can definitely tell you that was probably the best time of their life. Like it was amazing. It felt great.
What I've always enjoyed about any big win in the dome, there was the SDSU Hail Mary in 2021. Were you on the team? Were you there yet when that happened?
No, that was
you weren't.
right
You
before
weren't.
I got up there.
That was right before you got up there. Also, the Cal Davis game. I mean, you talk about a wild and crazy game in the quarterfinals that went your way. But I mean, once they're over, the way the team comes over, student section's right there. You get underneath the student section, start singing the school fight song. I mean, that to me is kind of like what is the best of college football and college sports. Are you one of those guys that gets a little tear in your eye when that's happening, a goosebump or two?
I get goosebumps. I don't get really teary eyed,
Okay.
but it's you can just feel the energy in the air, and especially like you go to the student session, sing our song, take some pictures. It's a good feeling. I love it.
All right. We're getting close. A lot of big things have happened since the end of the season, but I do want to take us to Bozeman, Montana, that Montana State game. I'm sorry I keep bringing up painful memories, but I mean these are such great games that are showing where you guys are at with Wisconsin and SDSU and now Montana State. But again, Bauman, Nielsen, whoever, you fall short in that game. What kinds of things are being said or felt?
So it was rough after that game because, like I said, every game we did lose, we felt like we should have won that game. And for us, it was just like, it's the same messages. We got to come back better next year. It's always, we went to quarterfinals. Now we went to the semifinals. Now we have to go win that championship this year. We can't go backwards. We got to keep going forward. And that was really the messages. Like I said, like we said the year before, season starts tomorrow. And that's exactly what our message was last year. Season start tomorrow. We will be better.
When did you find out that Bob was retiring? How long after that game?
Our first meeting back, coming back from break, he came and told us that he was done, and it was an emotional day for sure. Coming back, and losing our head man. It was rough.
How surprising was it, or was it surprising? Had you maybe
Honestly,
heard that might happen?
It was people saying that it could possibly happen. And I kind of had a feeling that maybe he might be done, but I didn't think he was gonna do it yet. I thought he wanted to win one more time, and then he'll take it off. But he has his family he has to take care of, and he has a responsibility as a man. So if he felt that was best for him, then that's what's best for him.
Do you remember what the last thing that day that you said to him? Do you remember Did you get to have a personal conversation with him?
I've seen him multiple times after that, actually.
Okay.
So I see him all the time, see how he doing when he is in Vern. But he was just saying, love you. You're a great player, and I'm gonna keep seeing you. He was saying, I might not be coaching, but I'm still gonna be around.
And correct me if I'm wrong. The same meeting he announced his retirement, did he also announce that Travis was taking over?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
he did.
And what was the general feeling amongst the team about that?
Everyone respected Coach Johansson, and everyone loved Johansson because of how he ran things. He ran things very uniform. There was no cutting corners with Coach Johansson, and we knew that was a good fit for us because it was also in house. He's been with Coach Nielsen for a while, so he knows how things are around here. So for a lot of us, it was more of a relief rather than having somebody brand new come in and take over.
And what was Travis like as the guy walking around during practice and running meetings during the spring?
Yeah, he was really good. He was involved everywhere. Like, he's a defensive coach, so he's coming to the offensive side. He's talking to us. He's like, he's messing with us. Like, I'm usually on the defense side, but he's coming over there. He's coaching the offense. He's doing everything he can. Like, he's very talkative at practice in a good way, making sure everything is done right. So it's been really good having him, especially during the spring.
I mean, he definitely seems sharp as a tack, and the screws are pretty tight, no nonsense, very intense.
Very.
Can he be funny? Have you seen him loosen up?
Yeah, he's definitely funny. Coach Johansson is about business, but he can loosen up, especially when we go bowling. He takes that very serious though.
Okay.
We do a lot of competition stuff, and where he like expresses his personality when it's time to have fun.
Yeah.
But when it comes to practice, working out, or meetings, all that stuff, he's sharp as a nail.
I know he's not a new guy to the offense, but he's a new guy to calling plays. What are your impressions of Tim Morrison taking over for Coach Davis?
Oh, I love Coach Morrison, honestly. Coach Morrison, like I said, being in-house and being one of the coaches that, everyone likes to be around is really hasn't been hard at all. He understands his players, he understands what we're good at as a team, and he knows exactly how to put us in good positions to make great plays. So it's been really nice to have Coach Morrison and Coach V, who is also helping with offensive coordinator. Like it's been really good.
Yeah, you mentioned Coach V. That would be Matt Vitsum. They're kind of co-coordinators. Matt's going to be quarterback coach, but Tim is the official offensive coordinator.
For sure.
It's a weird deal, but probably not too weird to you guys. And the spring was interesting. I asked Aiden about this a month ago or so. How did you handle, or both yourself or amongst your teammates, the fact that every now and then there's some dudes, particularly on that offensive line, that all of a sudden aren't on the team anymore throughout the spring?
I was always taught control what you can control. So, if they feel like they can put themselves in a better position, that's for them. Congratulations to them. But we have a team here that we're worried about. And if you're not with us, you're just not with us. We got people that are willing to be here. So we're going to work on what we have to. And that's the end of the story. We're not going to waste no time thinking about the people that are gone. We're going to worry about what's in front of us because we know what we're chasing this year.
Did you have some schools reaching out to you to try to pluck you away?
Nah, I didn't even entertain any of that stuff. I already knew in my head what I wanted, what I was going to do, so I didn't even entertain anything.
You didn't entertain it, but did anybody? I mean, somebody had to be smart enough to reach out to you if they even saw your stats and your highlights.
I wouldn't even know. I don't be on social media. Nobody has my phone number. I just, I know how that game goes, and that wasn't the game I wanted to play. So
yeah, you just wanted to stay put, huh?
I just wanted to stay put. I talked to Travis. Tice graduated, and I knew that I would have to step up in a bigger role. And Aiden Bauman coming back, I was like, this is our chance to run it back one more time with Bauman.
By the way, I asked Bauman, and we're landing the plane here. I really appreciate your time. I asked Bauman about you, and he said that he remembers when he knew you were going to be good, when you took a check down he threw to you against Drake, juked the guy, and then plowed another guy over. And Aiden said this guy is legit at that point.
Yeah, I remember that. That was his first touchdown pass of the season too.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what makes it funnier. Yeah, that was his first touchdown pass of the season.
There was a lot going on in that play.
Yeah. I love Bauman. He's a great guy.
And
me and him play all day.
He told me I could crack you open with some video game talk like NBA. Well, we didn't need to do that. I said, what would we need to loosen Charles up for this chat? And he said NBA 2K. But we didn't need to talk about NBA 2K. Are you good at it or something?
I be on that game a lot though. That's what I do when I'm away from football and I want to chill, have my own time. I play 2K with my homeboys.
Are you a Magic fan?
Yes,
okay.
I'm a Magic fan, but I'm a LeBron fan.
Okay. Do you have LeBron? You have a LeBron Michael Jordan weigh in here, or do you?
I feel like you like who you like, but I like LeBron. That was it. I don't be arguing with people. They be doing too much.
Okay, fair enough. Look, this was a lot of fun, and I'd love to do it again soon. we probably won't go this long just because we had to get to know you, and
For sure.
that's cool. It's a hell of a story, and look forward to seeing the next chapter this fall in Vermillion.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Charles Pierre Jr., stay right there, Charles. That'll do it for today's Happy Hour with John Gaskins. We're going to stay in Vermillion and talk basketball with the head coach, Eric Peterson. He's had an interesting spring. You ever met EP, by the way, Charles?
I probably have. I'm not even sure, honestly.
Okay. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy, and I can't wait to talk to him tomorrow. But that's it for today. For video producer Cordell Wright, I'm John Gaskins. Happy hour, and cheers.
You need anything else, John?
No, I think I'm good, Greg. I think I'm going to tap out.
All right. Have a good night.